is going on, Lunatic Fringe? The fate of Terra Luna Classic hangs in the balance right now. Altcoin season is about to hit, and you've got people who are working against you, trying to prevent you from having a stable coin that would earn yield, that would attract new investors, that would bring in volume to this blockchain. They hate your success. Do they hate the blockchain? No, they do not hate the blockchain. They hate you. They don't like you. They think you're a fool. They think you're a moron. That's what they think. Okay, they think that if they put up obstacles, that the chain will never grow, and they can continue to bleed it dry and suck out liquidity every single month after month. You would think that at this point they would be looking at bringing in more people in order to make that happen, to pump the price so that there was more value. But guess what? If that were to happen, a lot of people would sell, price would come back down. You know, the bubble. You're going to pump a little bit, then you're going to dump a whole lot, and maybe that shakes them into a different position or out of it. Or maybe they think that decentralization is the only way to go, and that having a stable coin somehow negates that. These are the same dum-dums who are holding USTC, by the way, hoping it goes back to $1. Do you hear what I'm saying yet? Okay. Now, let me also point out, most of you are in agreement. The people that aren't in agreement, they don't watch, or at least they hate watch every once in a while, and they hit the dislike button down below. By the way, hit the dislike button down below, dum-dum. You know you want to. And I mean, that's really what's going on, right? So let me show you what happened. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. So yesterday, I put out this, and this is my opinion. Greenpeace, Jesus is Lord 1 and 2, and HCC are your mortal enemies in Luna Classic. Unfortunately, it might be too late for you to wake up. They're trying to kill the chain. Now, that's a little bit harsh. Are they trying to kill the chain? No, they're trying to prevent you from making money is what it is, because, you know, these guys are making a little bit of money every month. And by the way, they're either accumulating more Luna Classic every single month, or they're selling it off and draining the liquidity. And by the way, if you're like, no, that's not happening, to which I would say, what do you mean it's not happening, dum-dum? Have you looked at your own chart? That is exactly what's happening. Just to give you some clarity here, 3 years ago, Terra Luna crashed, okay? Four times it's tried to break out and create something of a revival, okay? And every single time it's come back down to the bottom, okay? Where is it currently trending? At the bottom. Okay, so when you tell me that they're working, no, my friend, they are not. They're draining you every single time. There is your total right there. The end over here at the beginning. You know what? Let me circle. This is what happened during that catastrophic collapse. This is where you are right now. Do you understand yet? Do you see it? Okay, what they've been doing all this time. By the way, I'm not saying they're doing it because they're evil. I'm just saying they're doing it because they're dumb. Okay, I'm saying they're doing it because they do not want progress on this chain, because that's going to mess up their revenue stream. That's going to mess up their dominance, their control. And maybe they want it built a certain way. Maybe they want it fully decentralized. That's the dream. And you know what? It's a fair dream. Unfortunately, there are also other people and investors. Now, what we've got is the people who are validating with these people. That's what they're doing. They don't want any kind of progress. And by the way, let me go back here to my comment section and see, you know, we got Jamie Kerr out here, legend. I watch you every day, your Lunkcast, but I got out a while ago because of this. If things ever change, I would definitely buy back in. That's exactly what's going on right here. Everybody's leaving because these validators are killing them. These validators are destroying their profit. Battle Force says 100%. Crimson Guard says 3/4. I agree. Now, what does he say? I'm pretty sure it would be Greenpeace, Jesus is Lord 1 and 2. Happy Caddy Crypto, to his credit, look, I don't have a validator because I think it would be manipulation for me to be on YouTube and validating at the same time. It's just my opinion. By the way, that doesn't make it a crime. There's nothing that prevents it. It's just my personal opinion, okay? Happy Caddy Crypto does what I do in providing you with content, and he has a validator, again, which I would not do, but he also created the Lunk Wallet, okay? He's providing you value. So if that's the one that you say is not the bad actor, I really kind of agree with that. This is more that I don't like the way that he votes, and it annoys me that he's willing to side with the enemies, that he's willing to consistently vote with your enemies in order to forward what it is that he wants, which is pure decentralization. Again, he's not a villain in this. He just wants a certain thing. So if that was the case, then I would agree. Otterside says believes is right. Of course he is. Thank you for stating this. It needs to be known. And then Crypto Magazine says, and this is Hangan Paul, says, quit winning, bitch. I mean, I can't stop winning. I win every single day, baby. Woo! But I think he means whining. Everyone is staking with him. Get over it. I don't know who the him is. I don't know which of the hymns it is. I assume this person could only read the first word and said Greenpeace. And then he was like, that's enough for me. I think I like him. Or whatever they say in their brain. I don't know how it's how they sound to me. Okay. So it's very, very weird, very bizarre, very peculiar. Now, let's go over here and let's look at the voting right now. So Juris Protocol is the biggest yes so far. The biggest no so far was Jesus is Lord. Hate your progress, hate your profit. Jesus is Lord too. Same. Hate your progress, hate your profit. They do not want you to succeed. They don't want to build on this chain. Greenpeace, same thing. They're using their increased voting power, which they just got, by the way. And by the way, if you go back a month, I've been trying to be nice about Greenpeace because there hadn't been a vote. But if you go back about a month ago, Juris Protocol, this guy told everybody to get out of Juris Protocol and buy only Luna Classic because that was going to pump, right? Juris Protocol since then is up 100%. Luna Classic is down 80%. He destroyed people. Okay, he absolutely destroyed a bunch of investors. And what he's going to do and what he's going to say to you is, well, if you zoom out, then eventually the price is going to go up and everything's going to be even better because you did that. That's a stupid take. You had money on the table and a potential profit right there, and by following you and listening to you, it got screwed up for you right now today. So if it were the case, if you just had 10 million, if you just had 10 million Luna Classic and you moved it to Juris a long time ago, you would now have the equivalent of 20 million Luna Classic. You would have more. Your value would have increased. So this guy screwed you over by telling you this. I mean, it's just a dumb take. By the way, I understand why he's got issues with Juris Protocol, and that's fine. I mean, we all have issues with somebody. Like I keep saying, I have issues with the way Happy Caddy Crypto votes. But again, I don't have room to talk. Look, TerraPump.fun was something that was a side thing. Okay. Happy Caddy Crypto builds on this blockchain. He built Lunk Dash. He tracks everything for you so that you know exactly where the money's going and what's going on. He provides value to the chain. That is the thing that I could say about him. But these other guys, I don't see it. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just means that I don't see it. So anyway, the vote is 31% yes, 27% no, and then 33% abstain. The people that abstain, that's auto stake. Now, auto stake should get off the pot and vote appropriately. If they vote no, by the way, I mean, they want to kill the chain too, then they should. Stakely at 2.59%. These are the guys that make the giant difference. This should be a slam dunk, but they're sitting on the sidelines and they're allowing the manipulation. They could fix this in a heartbeat and they're choosing not to. You should remember who abstains from progress and who doesn't abstain from progress. By the way, I don't know how they're going to vote, but auto stake is already back down to number 2. All nodes is back up to number 1. I don't know how all nodes to vote. Remember, all nodes is heavily manipulated by, last time they were heavily manipulated by Happy Caddy Crypto. If you guys remember, because they said that they end up revoting, just so you guys understand, Terraport wanted USDC. They wanted $50,000 of USDC to create liquidity there using USDC. And originally it was voted no because people weren't made whole during the Terraport hack. But guess what? Not only was everything discovered, it was the DPRK, Democratic People's Republic of Korea, that they traced everything back to. So North Korea hacked Terraport. And then the people got an opportunity, they got a vote, everything was made whole. So then all nodes was misled by Happy Caddy Crypto, by Jesus is Lord. They were misled by all these people saying that people weren't made whole. Then they found out that they were lied to, and then they said revote. So they revoted, and they voted yes that time. Okay? Just so you guys understand, this is the manipulation that I'm talking about. This is what I'm telling you. They're misinformed and they're being lied to by these validators because these validators, they hate you making, or, make up whatever reason you have, convince me otherwise. The chart's right here. Stop me when I'm telling lies. So what do we have? Well, we've got Lunk Live still sitting out here. Having not voted. They are an active voter. I think we talked about Orion. I don't think that Orion does much voting here. Let's go look at their governance decisions. Yeah, they don't vote, so we can't rely on Orion to step up. They could or they could not, but you know, I don't think we would rely on them. So what we're looking at right here is we need Lunk Live to get in the game and cast their vote. We need Happy Caddy Crypto to get in there and cast their vote. Also, by the way, look right here. You now have Greenpeace with 6.7 billion more. They're deliberately trying to wreck this blockchain. Just so you guys understand, they're collating right now. They're collating, and by the way, where does 6 billion come from? Go look around here, and where do you see 6 billion coming out of? You don't really see. You see a little bit coming out of Vegas nodes right there. That doesn't explain 6 billion having disappeared. So you've got somebody out here that is moving a ton of Luna Classic into this staking module right here, Greenpeace, so that they can stop progress on the chain. Okay, you're seeing it playing out real time. Now, ultimately, if this doesn't go through, the chain's not really dead. You know, I'm being hyperbolic when I say that to die, but they're going to cripple it for the bull run. They're going to destroy any possibility and any potential pump that you might get. So what does that mean? Well, if you guys remember, what I gave you as my prediction of what the market is going to do is way up here. And I said that, you know, it is my opinion that if you have 370 million, then you probably are going to be, okay, then we're going to do 40x and we're going to go to 0.0027. That was my prediction. That was my spot, 0.0027, 0.0028. You know, not about a quarter of a penny is basically what I said was going to happen. In the event that this proposal doesn't go through, in the event that it does not go through, then we're going to change our thesis because we're not hitting the 4.326 ratio. We're absolutely not going to hit that. At best, we could look at the top here and the pivot to the bottom, and we could say that, you know, and we're projecting here, but from right there to right there, 3 zeros 25. Like, we're not even going to get up to this blue line right here at 3 zeros 28. Okay, maybe we get maybe we get a little bit of a breakout, but this is not the end, but it's close to the end. And by the way, you can see right here that 4.326 ratio right there, probably a little high. Probably need to draw this out just a little bit to get it exactly right, but we already did this before, and this is the top of the range. So the top of the range in a perfect scenario would be 306, which was near the top. That's it. That's all we have at this point. So that's what's going to happen if a proposal like this, which is going to attract new money coming onto the chain, dies. We threw away money for whatever ridiculous ideology these people are trying to push upon. Okay, so just remember that. Also, back to it, trading volume down 18 million on the day, or I'm sorry, 16% on the day, or 18% on the day, 14 million in trade volume. USTC up significantly, has not passed Luna Classic yet, but it's getting kind of close. Now, one thing we did see, 428 million in burns, which means that there's been an uptick, and that was yesterday, but even bigger today, even more. So 2 days ago we had 101 million. Yesterday we had 227 million. So far today 272 million. So the burns are starting to kick up. Now that is significant if it, you know, like if we can keep that going. Also, we burned 288,000 USTC and 214,000 USTC. So you're starting to see some movement, starting to see something that would, like, boom, give you some sort of hope and some sort of life. But we saw it, you know, we saw it at the same point last month. Well, we saw, you know, a couple of good days here in a row, and we thought, you know, nice, it's really starting to happen. We didn't see it with USTC, but my point is that, you know, this is a cycle, what's been happening, and it's not enough, but, you know, there is some kind of pattern here. Most likely it's the fee collector dumping and burning. So that's most, again, likely what happened right there. So, and let's close this out. If you haven't, consider becoming a subscriber to the channel. It's free. You get notified every day. I do this content at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time every single day. If you want to become a member to support me, it's $4.99 a month. TerraCasino.io for all your risk-based gaming needs. Chicago Bears, big win. Louisville Cardinals, big win. Those are my two teams, by the way, if you didn't know. So college football is my thing, and pro football, anything football related, really. Terraport Classic, if you want to trade meme coins or utility coins right now, this is your best place to go. They are also one of the maximum burners in all of these ecosystems. Tremendous opportunity here to buy whatever you want. You can even get that Believe meme coin. Nothing going on in Commonwealth other than the conversation about SDK 50, which I do think is going to pass. Meme coins over the last 7 days, just really nothing. Just nothing. Again, I think that the market is about to reverse. We're going to talk about that right now. Market's up $30 billion on the day, but it is down from where it previously was. Now, when we zoom around and we look at it, we got the move down to the bottom of this channel that we predicted. We predicted this a little while ago. We probably did this about 2.5, 3 weeks ago. We predicted this little channel was going to play out, and it's playing out right now pretty perfect. What I would expect to see is a move up to the top, but the top is not guaranteed at this point because we've done this multiple times and had these false breakouts. This is the third time. So it is also incredibly possible that in the short term, we get something right up here into the middle and then back down. This looks like maybe a bull trap, like maybe we're just trying to get people trapped in order to liquidate them, and we could see a cascade back down here. And as long as we're minting a higher low on this time frame, we're probably still bullish ultimately, and we're just gonna say we're gonna change the trajectory, if you will, the path. But we could also see that amazing, sort of breakout right there as we get. And this, by the way, this is not an actual project. This is just the total market cap, and Bitcoin is getting ready to head way up. Okay, in my opinion, and the reason that I say that is because again, M2 money supply. We are right now in a cut right there. We're on. I mean, like you see it. It's really on the chart right now. We've got this kind of spike here. And we got this dip that just came up, and then we've got this enormous move getting ready to happen, going and leading us into October. That's what we've got playing out right now. Now, if you look at this big move and you look at this big move, I might be off by a few days. So it could be that we're going like so much higher. Let's move this down to like 89 days and see what it looks like there. We move that down to 89 days. That's not going to be it. As a matter of fact, what we need to do is add a few days to it. So let's go to, let's go back to 100 and let's go to 100 days and let's see how that 101 days. That's the spike that we were looking for right there, kind of playing out, right? Yeah, right there. Then we got this big spike right here, and then we've got this kind of playing out right now, and then we've got this big move on the horizon. And by the way, when I say this big move, what I mean is this right here is global liquidity. It's money being printed in all of the countries, and it's just piling up. And when that piles up, that means that money goes into risk-based assets. So what you're going to see is you're going to see the chart take a similar move. Okay, and that's going to take us up hopefully to about 4.5 trillion market cap, and maybe that's just the start, because guess what? When you zoom out, it's going that much higher during the next part of this rally. And the question is, when do we get that actual rally? When do we get that breakout from Bitcoin? Because it is my estimation that what we need is we need a breakout from Bitcoin before anything else is going to send. All right. And Bitcoin, again, bouncing off of my resistance area. I entered a couple long positions if you watch my trading stream yesterday. And, this is where I think that we're headed next. 134,700, about 135,000 is basically the number that I'm giving you as the next area of surge. Now, in the event that that happens, that will continue. Basically, we probably just even predict it that I think it's going to happen here by the middle of October. There'll be some symmetry to it. Like you'll see this thing just start to rip over the next couple days. And then we end up at 135,000. And the question is where we're going to break down. I mean, the likely breakdown would be right here to about 122. And then we see another big rally. And that next big rally, again, going back to money supply. Again, we're reading tea leaves and predicting the future. But we go up here. This right here takes us to 135,000. That's that big move right there, right? And then we have a breakdown here to 122, which corresponds here and corresponds here, right here and right here. And then we go up even higher. And where do we go even higher? To the top of this range, which takes us to 150 to 160,000. Now, that means we wouldn't hit 170,000, but we don't know about the liquidity in the market. More could be coming in. We're just looking at the end of, we're looking at the end of the year, and are the money printers going to be continuing to print money? If they are, we're going to continue to go up. So that's it. That's what's going to happen. And it would be a shame to see Terra Luna Classic miss this opportunity because some ideological people have decided that they want to stop any progress. And it's my opinion that USDT or USTD USTR, all of these things are progress on the chain. It's designed to bring people here, create new investors, create new wallets, create new enthusiasm. It's designed to do everything that we want it to do. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you think I'm completely off base and wrong, let me know down there and hit the dislike button. If you think I'm right, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure that more people see this, because if you're validating with these people, they are destroying you and they are wrecking your wallet every. It's not financial advice, but I'm always